What's going on, everybody? This is your former AEW World Heavyweight Champion. Once a champion, always a champion. Swerve Strickland. Whose house? Swerve's house. You're watching True Heel Heat podcast.
Hello. It is me, your True Hill Phenom, SP3. We are back once again, not with AE Ramble. Don't adjust your screens, don't adjust your YouTubes. No, we are here with True Hill Heat's top 10 best matches of 2024, chosen by us on the team, as well as a couple of our extended family and supporters of the channel. To do that, I am joined by my esteemed colleague. You see him every Thursday, 1:05 p.m. Eastern Time on AE Ramble, the best AEW Dynamite review in the land, the man of 56,000 subscribers and all of your Yankee fitted dreams, Jimmy Macri.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I look forward to seeing what matches you greatly overrated this year. It's always a fun list.
Why are you always so upset with everything voted on by other people? You're like, doesn't agree with me, so it's wrong. But yes, we appreciate y'all for joining us. Happy New Year! I don't have the all that. Happy end to 2024, beginning of 2025. So we're going to recap the year. We've done top 10 lists for a bunch of different topics for you to enjoy. Our men's wrestlers of the year list dropped on Christmas Day. This year is dropping on New Year's Day. So we appreciate y'all for all the support throughout 2024, and we expect the same support plus a little bit more love across here on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel in 2025. We appreciate y'all. If you're watching us on demand, remember to show your appreciation back the simplest way possible. Drop the thumbs up on this video. You can share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you're new to the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. And of course, sound off in the comments down below and let us know your list, your favorite or best matches of 2024. I like to always give y'all the option, whether it's your favorites, whether it's you feel it's the best matches of 2024. Let us know in the comments down below. But this year, we were given the task of giving our top 5 best matches of 2024. Each person gave me their top 5 on the team. Each of a couple of our friends from our extended family, guests that have been here on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, gave me their top 5 as well. We had a couple of you give us your top 5 on the forms that we sent out for the year-end awards. And then the point system works. First place gets 5 points. Second place gets 4 points, so on and so forth. And the point total plus your first place ballot gets us our top 10 here. So what a year in professional wrestling in 2024, whether it be the scandal with Vince McMahon, whether it be The Rock, the final boss character coming in and switching up everything for WrestleMania 40, but then Cody still finishing his story, Sting's retirement, Bryan Danielson celebrating winning the AEW World title in Wembley Stadium, Will Ospreay and his 1,001 5-star classic matches across AEW, New Japan Pro Wrestling, and beyond. New Japan Pro Wrestling building behind the future of the company. CMLL having a record-breaking year. TNA having a record-breaking year. So 2024, how will you remember it now, Jimmy, since we are at the end?
A few months from now, I'll probably remember it much as you described it. A lot of great things happened. A lot of big things happened. Namely Cody and his story and the shift in the WWE's storytelling along with that. 5 years from now, it'll be like Sean in 96 or whatever you prefer. It happened. We thought it was a big shift, but it wasn't. We're waiting for the actual guy to come along. He'll come along soon. I'm not sure who that is just yet, but I'll let you know when it happens. Right now, just enjoy the boyhood dream coming true. I love Shawn Michaels. Love you. Oh, Steve. Hey, Steve. Oh, sorry. We're over that.
You're
Cody, finish the story. Oh, wait, never mind.
See, my suggestion to our editors on the team is that we need a compilation. We need a compilation of how many times Jimmy has crapped on Cody Rhodes since he finished his story.
I'm tired of being told it's this fucking story and it's the new Austin and Rock and Cena. He's great. He's not that. I just want people to do what I want them to do. Is that too much to ask? Is that too much to ask? Do I have to end the show with fucking John Moxley and Edge? I can't get Omega and Okada and them. I thought it was an alternative. I got fucking Dean Ambrose and Edge. I have no interest in this. What is this? Where's the alternative shit? I've got Cody and pretending he's the guy. Oh, boo. Boo. Great year, though.
Great year, though. Great year, though. Yeah.
You have to go work.
Oh, you're hilarious. This is why I had to ask Jimmy to join us for our best matches of the year list. Go over and enjoy our worst matches of the year list. I believe we're going to drop it either the same day or later in the new year in 2025. So check us out talking about the worst matches of the year. And that's why I asked Jimmy to be on that one as well. That was a lot of fun as well. But we're here to talk about the best of 2024. So before we get into our top 10, we got a couple of honorable mentions that we got to mention here. A couple of ones that got one vote but couldn't get in were Sting and Darby Allin versus the Young Bucks from Revolution, Sting's retirement match.
Thank God. I knew one of y'all was over in that fucking match. Thank God it wasn't a bunch of you. Great match, though.
This guy. I love that. Swerve Strickland versus Hangman Adam Page from AEW All Out, the lights out steel cage matchup.
The syringe?
Yeah, the syringe spot. That got a vote.
Out of here.
That got a vote. We got
Whoever voted for it, not them. I mean, Swerve is, but I'm talking about the person who voted for it. Not
Will Ospreay versus Kyle Fletcher from AEW Full Gear.
I thought it was the other match, the 19-minute one that drove off 100,000 people from Dynamite. That one.
We also got Will Ospreay versus Josh Alexander from TNA Impact. Sabre and Mayu Iwatani versus Shihiro Hashimoto and Benny got a first place vote, but that was the only vote that it got. We have a couple of ones that just missed out on the cut. So this is basically our 13 through 11. 13, you had Gunther versus Randy Orton. Bash in Berlin had 3 points on 2 nominations.
Can't believe this. We're punishing Randy Orton from his work for the last 10 years, and that's not fair. We should be celebrating the actual match, not punishing him for what he did before that. This match should be fucking celebrated. God damn it. I love that match.
You also had Zack Sabre Jr. Versus Shingo Takagi from Power Struggle. Had 5 points on 3 nominations. So it had the most nominations without making our list here. Then basically we have a tie for the 11th place where we have Bayley versus Io Sky from WrestleMania 40. Had 6 points on 2 nominations, including a first place vote.
Huh? All right, sure.
And then you have Mercedes Moné versus Hazuki from NJPW Strong Style Evolved. Got 6 points on 2 nominations. That was the kind of, I think out of all the matches on our list, that was the one that had the kind of the latest entry because that happened, on December 15th.
I'll say that's the match you told me about. I watched that match. That was a really good match. That was a great match. I think it trumps Bayley and Io by a good bit. I'm entirely sure they're tied.
Yeah, I think that was the best women's match of the year. So, yeah. But there's so many that it's in that discussion from this year. But I think that Bailey and Io was the best one as far as WWE when it comes to the women's side.
I can't think of the top of my fucking head. So yeah, that's probably a solid choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great match. It's gonna be a little underrated because of how Bailey was used afterwards.
Exactly. But coming in at number 10, Jimmy, we have with 9 points on 2 nominations, including 1 first place vote from NJPW's Wrestle Kingdom 18, Kazuchika Okada going one-on-one with Bryan Danielson, the rematch from Forbidden Door inside the Tokyo Dome on January 4th. You had the big rematch, special singles match between Okada and Danielson, and they had to redeem themselves for Forbidden Door, where Bryan got injured during the course of the matchup. And it really played into that injury as well as Bryan's injuries that he suffered during the Continental Classic. The eye injury that he had coming in, Okada battering the eye in the early going before Bryan was able to get him on the mat and really showcase his technical brilliance. Okada would have to pull out the big moves, the German suplex, attacking the eye again. It took more than one Rainmaker, but he finally got the job done. An instant classic, the first really kind of match of the year candidate of 2024 over on January 4th. Really stole the show in the Tokyo Dome at Wrestle Kingdom 18. So I believe it deserves to be on the list here, but I did not include it in my top 5 because there were so many great matches this year, but I would have included it probably in my top 10.
Bryan has had a sneakily fantastic year. Looking back at it, I'm not entirely sure why I don't recognize it as that. Maybe it's because he took a lot of fucking losses he shouldn't have taken. Either way, this match was great. I know a lot of people can get, I don't want to say upset, I'm not sure what the word is, but unnerved by Dragon selling. You never know, do we have to do that? It's a bit much with real head injury. We got to do that. Oh, no. Yeah, I get it, but, man up. Dragon's fucking fantastic. And when Okada tries, he's one of the best in the world.
This is one of, 4 times he tried this year? This is...
Hey.
He saved them for the big moments. For the big moments.
Not a bad paycheck if you can get it. Go ahead.
Next up, coming in at number 9 on our list here, we have also with 9 points, but on 4 nominations, we have Will Ospreay going one-on-one with MJF for the AEW International Championship from AEW Dynamite 250 on July 17th. This one was the first time ever matchup between one of the faces of AEW and one of the newest members of the AEW roster, Will Ospreay, after weeks of buildup. They had the big stare down on Dynamite that really got things going, and then MJF's heel turn at Beach Break led into this big time matchup. And it was so cool how they broke it down kind of into 2 halves, where MJF does what he always does when he's in there with one of the best wrestlers in the world. He tries to go hold for hold, toe for toe, but still utilizing his amazing heel work and heel character to get the most reaction out of the crowd. They did the crowd brawling into the inside, had the fun spot that went viral with the little girl chopping MJF. Then the second half of the matchup was basically MJF trying to break down Will and break down his body part and slow things down. And then when we hit the 45-minute mark, you realize, oh shit, they're going to go an hour. They're going to go Broadway. This is going to go to a time limit draw. And then they just pull out all the stunts, all the big WWE main event spots that MJF has become known as, like with the elbow drop off the top rope through the table, all the big near falls and reversals down the stretch. And then we get the great finish to this matchup. Referee is down. MJF pulls out the Dynamite Diamond Ring, punches Will Ospreay, and gets the win to become the new international champion with 2 seconds remaining in the 60-minute time limit. The great sell by MJF in the post-match, getting the oxygen mask on and saying, easy dub, as he won the championship. And this really got things going as they headed into another fantastic matchup at All In Wembley Stadium. But Definitely. I think that this was, at the time, especially the initial reaction to this matchup, I did not get why people did not like this. I love this. I thought that this was the essence of MJF's character with a Will Ospreay epic style format to a matchup, and they blended it so well.
Yeah, I was very confused by the polarized opinions about this match. Some people loved it. Some people hated it. People who hated it, typically, I think the technical name for them is morons, if I remember it correctly. But right, my opinion doesn't. It's not the only one out there. Fair enough. This match was fucking fantastic. I'm sorry. To me, this is the peak of MJF's year with relative ease. I dare say it's the peak of Will Ospreay's. It's hard to say that because all in, but it's the peak of his star power. He never felt bigger to me than in this match. It was like, oh, him and MJF, these are the two biggest guys in the company. For an hour, we're gonna piss off Britt Baker and we're gonna put on a fantastic match. The kid spot that went viral is one of my favorite spots ever. Not just because he's flipping him the bird, but he's shaking like he's fucking
like he's been on a stretcher.
Yes. He is fuming with rage at this fucking kid. It is brilliant. And as you said, I assume we're doing a draw. And then to not do the draw, which I've said several times they should have done. Hangman Dragon, that first one, they should have did that. It's just fantastic. Yeah. And it worked for me big time here. I'm sure MJF will nothing but up from here, by the way. To the moon.
Hey, if you just remember the Will Ospreay MJF rivalry for the matches, it was a great rivalry. It was a great rivalry. They had some good angles, some good promos too. But some of they had that 2 week straight, that 2 week stretch in the South. That just didn't go well. America,
but not this America. In Tennessee, right? Everybody knows it's the liberal Tennessee here.
MJF was like, "This is America. Look at us." We got coming in at number 8. Oh, this name looks familiar. Will Ospreay versus Michael Oku from Rev Pro High Stakes, coming in with 9 points on 4 nominations. Also the same as Ospreay and MJF here, but it had more second place votes than Ospreay and MJF, which got it on this list here, higher on the list than Ospreay and MJF. It was really that close between these two matches. But man, this had probably some of the best storytelling of any matchup in 2024. Just from the beginning, if you kind of go back to their matchup 2 years ago in 2022, the first 5-star matchup for Michael Oku in Rev Pro, and I believe it was the second Rev Pro 5-star matchup that they ever received. But that one at from Dave Meltzer.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Scratch that.
But that one received critical acclaim because of the storytelling in that matchup, and Michael Oku trying to claim the honor of being the king of UK independent wrestling from Ospreay, and Ospreay just being too overpowered. And then they finished the story here in this matchup with Oku kind of getting through everything, going through all the obstacles to this matchup, and then Ospreay, even though it's his final match on the UK independent scene, he is treated like a god during his entrance, and he turns it all around and becomes the biggest heel in the whole company, in the building, just healing it up. He's kicking at Amira, which is Michael Oku's girlfriend and manager. He's putting his elbow in Michael Oku's face, getting as much heat as possible to build up to Michael Oku's dramatic comeback. All the callbacks to their previous matchup, and then the finish, we saw Michael Oku lock on this single leg crab, and then bend back on it, making Ospreay tap out, making him the man, the Rev Pro British Heavyweight Champion. The roar of the crowd reaction, the crowd was into every single moment in this matchup. And the fact that this is an independent wrestling matchup that makes it on our list at 4 nominations here, and it's this high on the list as well, says a lot. I said it the same thing when we talked about our worst matches of the year, when an independent wrestling match was on there. It had to be so bad that it made that list. This has to be so great that it made the list. It was 47 minutes of just amazing storytelling, and just the chemistry is off the charts between these two guys. If you haven't watched it, I suggest you watch it, but I know you watched their first matchup from 2022, Jimmy, but what do you think about Ospreay kind of capping off his run on the UK independents with another instant classic that helps out one of the stars that's going to be there?
Good on Ospreay, by the way. He seems to be very willing to lose, to people he likes at least. That's something, I suppose. I was very curious about this matchup, and I saw a tweet from Dave Meltzer recently. I assume it happened at the time of the match, where he said this is one of the top 3 matches of the year or something. He wished he could have flown all of his family members out to watch this match. And at that point, I had no interest in it anymore, clearly. This is what I'm talking about. This is the shit I'm talking about. When I say overrated, that's what I mean. It could be great. Are you telling me it's that great? I need to fly Granny out to see this fucking match? I doubt it. I doubt it sincerely. She doesn't like wrestling. What the fuck she going out here for? Come on, knock it off.
My relatives, my in-laws.
This nigga's lost his mind. But yeah, good on Ospreay for doing the job. Okada can learn a lesson or two.
Doing the job on the way out, yeah.
You're
Okada
leaving.
They was like, take notes, Okada. He was like, oh yeah, bitch. Just dropped it. Coming in at number 7 on our list with 14 points on 6 nominations from AEW X NJPW Forbidden Door. It is Will Ospreay versus Swerve Strickland for the AEW World Championship. We were waxing lyrically about the build-up to this matchup. I think, even though I love the build-up and the story heading into Bryan and Swerve, I think this was the best-built AEW pay-per-view main event of the year. It felt like the future of the company was being decided. It felt like either guy can walk out with the win. It felt like that with Bryan and Swerve, but this was like, okay, either one of these guys is going to be a top star here, or both are going to be a top star here for a long time, and we're getting a glimpse into the future. Just fast-paced, state-of-the-art action in this one. You got the hard-hitting strikes. You got the high-flying of Ospreay. Swerve busting out the Swerve Stomp through the announce table. You got the Brain Buster on the barricade. Swerve just battering Ospreay. The great storytelling elements like Okada's coming out and pulling out the screwdriver. Ospreay almost going through with it, but choosing not to. Almost going through with the Storm Driver, but taking too much time. So Swerve was able to capitalize and finally hit the big pressure to pick up the victory. The sadness in Ospreay after taking the loss, Swerve consoling him, the next little moment of respect in the post-match. This did a lot to solidify Swerve as a bona fide main eventer in AEW and the world champion without the kind of the cloud that was over him. Many people believing that Ospreay should and would win the AEW World Championship at All In. Just a fantastic match, in my opinion. What did you think, Jimmy?
Probably the best AEW's been all year. Ospreay and Swerve's feud. I really thought it was really well done. I think we called back to, I think Rock and Triple H was our example. It just felt like these are the two guys for the moment, and these are the two guys down the line. So we get to see Christmas come early. I love the match. I think I'm gonna say this is I can't even go that far. We'll deal with Swerve a little later on. I was gonna say this is a fantastic performance by Swerve. I was gonna say this may be his best performance of the year, but I can't even go that far.
Yeah, because we're gonna talk about that match. So
yeah.
This is his second best. This is his second best performance of the year.
He was on. To me, this is AEW's peak, by the way, of the year. Well, not of all time, of the year. This is when they were.
I feel like the peak is All In, but I don't blame you if you say Forbidden Door.
Yeah, Ospreay. I mean, America and UK was on All In. They can't give it that. Sorry, but Swerve and Ospreay.
It delivered. It delivered on the show.
They would have shot in the ring every week leading up to that match. They still would have delivered on the show. That would make the feud any fucking good. That's not how that works.
It was good. It was a good feud.
Absolutely. Tennessee, not real America. That's brilliant.
Number 6 on our list here, coming in with 17 points overall on 6 nominations, including 1 first place nom. Zack Sabre Jr. going one-on-one with Bryan Danielson from NJPW, New Beginning in Osaka. Now, these two guys had what I would call the perfect technical wrestling matchup at Wrestle Dream. So I was so excited when they said that they would have the rematch in February in Osaka in front of that New Japan crowd that just loves technical wrestling. They were popping at rope breaks in this matchup. The technical wrestling, the counter work, and I love the commentary. This is one of the best commentary jobs of anybody in the business this year, with Walker Stewart and Chris Carlton kind of telling us the difference in the technical wrestling of Bryan Danielson to Zack Sabre Jr. Bryan Danielson believes that this is like a chess match and it's calculating. He knows what he's going to do. While Zack Sabre Jr. feels like it's free flowing. It's like jazz music. So that's why he does the 6 seconds or less. He goes for a submission and then he'll go to another move if it doesn't work in 6 seconds. He always has a different submission in his arsenal. Then we saw as the submission work didn't work, we got the hard hitting strikes. That moment when they have the leg locks, the ankle hooks on the heel hooks on each other, and they're just slapping the shit out of them, and the roar of the Osaka crowd at 5 a.m. in the morning, I was hyped as hell. That was like a jolt of energy to me. A bunch of coffee was put into my system, and then I love the storytelling because Zack said he wanted this match because Bryan Danielson didn't win with technical wrestling at Wrestle Dream. He won with a strike and a pinfall. Here with Zack, we thought he would win with a submission, but instead he uses a technical wrestling pin to pick up the victory, and that makes Bryan say in the post-match, you're now the best technical wrestler in the world. And what Zack was able to do after this win and propel him to the rest of the year that he had with being the Tokyo Sports MVP, becoming the first British wrestler to win the G1, becoming IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. This was Bryan Danielson passing the torch to him, and the significance, the lasting impact of this matchup, I think is much greater than people would let on if you really think about what the year kind of transpired after this. What did you think about Zack Sabre Jr. and Bryan Danielson being on this list? Did you watch the matchup, or what was your thoughts on their first matchup last year?
I did watch the match. That was a great match. I thought the first match was better. I really loved the first match. No disrespect. Another loss for Dragon here. I think that kind of proves a point earlier. This man had a fantastic fucking year, but a lot of fucking L's. Zack Sabre, to me, he feels like one of those guys who's never going to get the credit he deserves. He's probably born in the wrong era, probably born a little too late, and in the same era as Dragon. It's never going to be helpful. But he's really fucking good. He feels... I can't think of a guy who's as fluid as he is. We're just like, that felt like second nature to him. I can't think of maybe Kurt Angle. I can't think of off the top of my head where I went, ooh, okay, who moves like that? Who moves like that? This guy.
It's like a blend of like Kurt Angle meets William Regal.
Oh, yeah. Well, you can see the Regal influence, that British style. It's fucking great. Zack Sabre's fucking great.
Yes, he's fantastic. I'm so happy for him, all the success that he's gotten this year. And this was definitely, for me personally, the best New Japan Pro Wrestling matchup of the year. I don't think anything was as good at this. This is one of the best technical wrestling matches I think I've ever seen, and how it broke down. Even the work with Bryan working over the leg of Zack, and Zack selling of the leg, and how he would sell it when he would try to run and do different moves, and then just Bryan getting the heat from the crowd in Osaka as well, and then the Osaka crowd saying this is awesome in English, a Japanese crowd. Like, that's how good this match was. They learned English.
Fantastic. Absolutely. Never forget, nerds come in every ethnicity. Always. Beautiful.
Coming in at number 5 on our list. We're cracking the top 5 now, Jimmy. And I'm looking at the top 5, and I know you have watched every single match in our top 5 for sure. So it's coming in at number 5 on our list with 23 points overall on 9 nominations. The only match not in our top 5 to not have a first place vote, but had enough nominations to make it this far on the list. From AEW Revolution, Will Ospreay goes one-on-one with Konosuke Takeshita. What a way to introduce properly Will Ospreay to the AEW audience. Like they already got introduced to him during his time in New Japan Pro Wrestling and his many visits on Forbidden Doors, last year's All In. But to just say, hey, we're gonna walk in the door, we're giving you Konosuke Takeshita on your first pay-per-view show, and you got to set the bar for the rest of your year with this match, and he somehow was able to keep that bar there or even exceed it. Man, you got to say, Will Ospreay, one of the best wrestlers in the world. But this one, to me, was Konosuke Takeshita giving us a glimpse of what was going to go down this year. And that this was the year that he was finally going to break through. This match, I love the Konosuke Takeshita match between him and Kenny Omega. But I feel like this match is just different. Like, from the moment go, this North Carolina crowd, were into this matchup. I was fired up, on my feet, pumping up the crowd when the bell even rings at this one, because these are two of my favorite wrestlers in the world. It's just fast-paced, hard-hitting, high-impact moves, back and forth, the exchanges, the fighting spirit of Ospreay versus the exceptional arsenal of moves of Konosuke Takeshita, the hidden blade, the big moves. He tried for the Stormbreaker, but he gets the Storm Driver, and then he connects with the hidden blade in the end to pick up the victory here. This was absolutely fantastic. I actually rewatched this one earlier this week. My God, does it still live up? And that was my first time watching it on TV because I was there live. It's one of the best matches I've ever seen live. I can't say it's the best match I've ever seen live because I'm going to say that for another match on our list, but it's one of the best matches I've ever seen live. Just the energy of the crowd, the energy of Ospreay, the energy of Konosuke Takeshita, the reversals, the timing, the pacing. It's just off the charts. This is pro wrestling, and this is what AEW should be. What did you think about Takeshita versus Ospreay?
Yeah, what a great match. I hope they don't ruin the momentum by putting on another match 4 days later with fucking one of the guys in this fucking picture is going to drive off 100,000 people from the show. But it's not the him that we're talking about them. Ospreay loves too much. He loves too hard. This match is fucking fantastic. You know how I feel about Takeshita. I'd put all the belts on him. Every single belt in existence outside of the undisputed WWE Universal World Heavyweight Championship, which would be in the possession of Obafemi, obviously, who would have 3 or 4 belts at that point. But Takeshita would have the rest. And God damn it, he would deserve it. That man is splendid. And him and Ospreay, they kind of feel like mirror images of one another. Maybe a race swap. I can't believe how well they work together. I know a lot of people didn't love the idea of having Takeshita take this loss. Like, why not give Ospreay a bum? But to me, it felt big. It felt like it should have felt. It felt like, Takeshita was going to lose, but as long as he puts up his side, everything will be fine. And good Lord, he put up his side big time. I love this match.
Yeah, absolutely splendid matchup here. And I want to see these guys deliver some more because I thought Ricochet, him and Ospreay, they delivered a outstanding 3-way at Wrestle Dream. I want to see these guys go one-on-one again, though. I need them to go one-on-one for the International Championship.
Oh, I'm not mad at that. I like to see Ospreay get some wins first. He had a lot of fucking losses. I kind of feel gross. I ain't gonna hold it.
I feel gross. Coming up in number 4 here for 2024 on our best matches list with 27 points on 9 nominations, including 2 first place votes. It is Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes for the undisputed WWE Championship Bloodline Rules from WrestleMania 40 Night 2. This is the most sports entertainment matchup in the best way possible. because I think that what's most underrated about this matchup is that for 20 minutes of it, Cody and Roman just wrestled. And they wrestle, and they just know how to play to the crowd, get a big crowd of 60,000, 70,000 in attendance in Philadelphia who were ready for this matchup, knew this was the biggest match of the weekend, the biggest matchup possibly in the entire business in 2024, and they treated it as such. They treated it with reverence, and the performers treated it with such as well. This was your big time WrestleMania main event, and they worked it like that in the first 20 minutes. You got Roman in his peak, talking trash to the camera, talking trash to the crowd. You got him pulling out Cody's finishing move, the crossroads, and says that move never worked. That move's trash. You got Cody busting out the spear. And then 21, 22 minutes in, then all the smoke and mirrors, all the bells and whistles come out, and it's just complete shenanigans. I think Tempest of Wrestle Talk put it the best. This might not be the best WrestleMania match, but this is the most WrestleMania match. This is the celebration of 40 years of the Bloodline story, of Cody finishing his story all in one. Then you got the soul. You got Jimmy Uso coming out. You got Jey Uso coming out, spearing him off the stage. You got Solo Sikoa coming out, delivering a Samoan Spike, a callback to WrestleMania 39. You got John Cena coming out to take care of Solo, a callback to Crown Jewel when we thought Solo ended Cena's career. Then we get The Rock coming out, the final boss, the stare down with John Cena, thrice in a lifetime, a callback to WrestleMania 28, WrestleMania 29. And you can't have WrestleMania callbacks and nostalgia without The Undertaker showing up, the man who created the undefeated streak at WrestleMania. They're taken care of. Then you get one of the most underrated moments of the matchup, the callback to the great storytelling of the Roman Reigns character. The moment in time that made him the tribal chief, that made him the head of the table. The whole reason he created the bloodline is because he couldn't trust anyone except his family. So when he had a chance to get a little measure of revenge, a revenge he pretty much got at the Royal Rumble 2022 when he battered Seth Rollins with a steel chair, but he saw Seth with the Shield costume. He heard Seth come out with the Shield music. He hits him in the back with the steel chair instead of hitting Cody. He goes for the spear. Cody kicks him. 3 crossroads later, Cody finishes his story. Cody is your new undisputed WWE champion. What a moment. Tears in the eyes. Samantha Irvin's great call with the crying and stuff. So emotional. Such a happy ending. One of the happiest endings to the biggest shows in the business, period. WrestleMania. This will go down in infamy, in history. This will be remembered for years to come. Cody Rhodes finishes his story, coming in at number 4. Jimmy.
I'm not sure why that's as funny as it is. This whole big fucking thing coming in at number 4. Oh,
coming in at number 4. But I mean, it's high on the list. It's a WWE matchup. I gave this match 5 stars. This was perfect for what it was supposed to be.
It is really good, borderline great for 20 minutes. Then it goes completely fucking ridiculous. And I think everybody loved every minute of it. It was like, what is going on? And all of it made sense to me in some kind of way, even The Undertaker. Yeah, you know what? Just you describing it, I just got really happy. I forgot about the little moments of Roman saying this move sucks.
He never beat nobody.
Like, what are we doing? That's so fantastic. Yeah, that was a really fucking great match. 4? I think I know what they are, but yeah, I mean, I can justify 4. That was really, really well done. I don't know if it gets any better than that for what they were going for. That kind of bag of tricks, big bombastic ass match. That was great.
It was WWE and pro wrestling's version of Avengers Endgame.
Yeah, it felt like that. It's not a cinema. It's an amusement park. It's
like, there go Thanos, final boss. They go hit.
Yeah. Let's go. Yes, please.
Great stuff. Great stuff. Got it. Definitely one of the best WrestleMania main events of all time.
Yeah.
I think it's up there with your Michaels and Taker from 26, your Austin and Rock from 17.
Well, my question would be: I don't know if this is on topic. It is. It's talking about great matches. When was the last match with this type of bombasticness to it? This type of I won't say ridiculousness, but you know what I mean.
That's what I would think. I would think, like, as far as WrestleMania main events go,
Any main event or any match, we'll say.
This
like,
much? I think you're gonna go back to like the NWO era.
Let's go. Yeah. Oh my God. Good Lord. 20 people in this fucking match. All right. That's enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good one. That's a good shout.
Coming in at number 3 on our list with the same amount of points as number 4, 27 points in total. But it had more nominations, 11 nominations, including 1 first place vote. CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre inside Hell in a Cell, WWE Bad Blood. The culmination.
They got the washed up old man on this list. I know they don't have it. Never, go ahead. I apologize.
The culmination of almost a year-long storyline inside Hell in a Cell, and what they did for this stipulation. I think that people in the months after this matchup, they tend, when they talk about this feud, they don't think about the bracelet stuff. They don't think about the SummerSlam match. They think about this and the fact that they restored that one of the greatest stipulations in pro wrestling history, the violence, the hatred, the blood, the intensity of this matchup. The crowd is into it every single moment of it, and then the different moments in the matchup. Drew busting open Punk, the table on the outside, the big suplex, kind of like Michinoku Driver, Northern Lights bomb through the table by ringside. Punk blasting Drew in the head with the toolbox, busting Drew open the hard way. The callbacks, Punk doing the sharpshooter improperly, but no one can do it right, like Bret Hart. But Drew and Punk just brought it all in this matchup. You got the wrench spot in this piece. You got them trying to poke each other's eyes out with the tables, with the legs of the table. And then you got the great finish of the matchup where Punk says he's going to make Drew beg to him, like he said in the promo ahead of the matchup. And Drew feigns praying to him and begging him off, and then delivers the low blow. He then gets a bag. We think it's thumbtacks. No, it's bracelet beads. He shoves it in Punk's mouth. He then goes for the Claymore. Punk moves, and his back is destroyed by the steel steps. One go to sleep later. CM Punk is the winner and wins what has been one of the most bitter rivalries that we have seen in WWE in probably over a decade, and the most violent and possibly the greatest Hell in a Cell matchup of all time. Finally, something that I think is worthy of the argument against Taker and Michaels. I feel like since the first Hell in a Cell, there's been ones that had arguments for a while, but then Taker and Michaels pretty much win the argument because it's the first one, it's the most significant, it's Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, the Kane debut, and all of that. But this one, culminating a year-long rivalry, restoring the Hell in a Cell stipulation after it was bastardized for a decade, I think this one has the best argument in a couple of years.
We talked about our criteria for worst match of the year, and we talked about circumstances, we talked about consequences. I think this is like a good reason why this match is so high on this fucking list. Off the top of my fucking head, to me, Drew is now a made man. He'll never be anything less than a main eventer for the rest of his fucking life. It's as you said, it restored Hell in a Cell to me. It restored Bad Blood. First of all, that's already impressive. It got rid of all the haters. Well, not all of them. Still got frantic words out there. But most people now CM Punk still got enough left. That's all you need. You don't need all of it. You just need enough. And it perfectly capped off the feud of the year. This, to me, was splendid. I have no notes. There's nothing I would say would change. There's nothing I could change without getting Nick Khan's approval. He'll never get it from The Rock because this obviously should have been an event. But other than that, perfect. Perfect all around. What a match.
This was the WWE match of the year for me.
Yeah. I was iffy, then I'm sold. You did a great job selling it. Yes, this is fucking fantastic.
Thank you. Try my best. Coming in at number 2 on our list here. Now this is where it gets good.
Oh,
folks.
Jesus.
It gets good, folks. The top 2. So we said number 3 and 4 came in with 27 points. Number 2, 55 points.
Ooh.
14 nominations, including 4 first place votes. Strickland versus Bryan Danielson for the AEW World Championship title versus career. AEW All in London from Wembley Stadium. Now I said before, Ospreay versus Takeshita, one of the best matches I ever seen live. This is the best match I've ever seen live. The energy of the crowd, I'd never been around that many people, 50,000 in attendance, just wanting one guy to win. And then combined with that one guy is one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. And in my eyes, the greatest underdog babyface of all time. Then combined with that, you have this rising star, this meteoric rise for Swerve Strickland, becoming AEW World Champion, becoming a very popular star, and then turning it all back and becoming the most evil, dastardly bastard in this matchup. Making Birdie Danielson cry for, I believe, up to 10 minutes of the matchup because, yes, I was sitting behind them. I saw them trying to console this young child as she watched her father being battered and bruised. All the house calls, 3 house calls in a row, and then Bryan kicks out. And then Swerve just trying to rub it in his family's face, turning Bryan towards his family and starts mocking him by giving him the yes kicks. And then the moment of Bryan looking at his family, looking at his kid. I love you so much. I love you so damn much as he powers up through the yes kicks, powers up and makes his comeback with the crowd on fire, just on every single move, every single word, every single action that Bryan made. They were living and dying off of it. At moments, they thought the match was over on the Swerve Stomp, on the big pressure. But Bryan kicked out and the place explodes. You got Swerve coming out to follow up on his storyline with Hangman coming out to follow up on his storyline with Swerve. Swerve coming out here and putting on probably, I would say, yes, it is his best in-ring performance of his entire career. He was the most evil bastard to this. He played this to a T as far as being a heel and drawing as much heat, but more importantly, as much emotion from this crowd and from Bryan himself and from his family. And then the cathartic feeling of Swerve tapping out, Bryan winning the AEW World Championship. People crying next to me while they chant yes in the crowd. This is one of the happiest moments I have ever been live for at a professional wrestling show. Bryan Danielson put on an absolute epic in the main event, AEW's biggest show of the year. And honestly, he should have just went out like Sting and just retired in the post media scrum because it wasn't going to get better than this. What did you think about Bryan versus Swerve?
What did I think about this? This was the match of the year. Don't listen to what the people say. Keep watching, but don't listen to what the people say. This is the match of the year. This is one of the greatest matches of all time. It's in my top 5 ever. And that's what Swerve. That's what Uncle Ruckus. Still one of the top 5 matches ever. It is what it is. This match was perfect. Swerve was a perfect villain. He never gave off anything that wasn't completely contemptible. He's immediately hateable. He stays hateable. He plays right into it. And Dragon is the complete opposite. He's the perfect babyface. It built perfectly. Even when they went unrealistic, where Dragon hits him and Swerve no sells all of it, which is silly, but it worked for me. It worked for the moment. I bought into it. Somehow Dragon doesn't left.
This is what sold it for me. He brushes off the knee like you, and he did the same thing to Ospreay during the Ospreay matchup when Ospreay hits him with the forbidden door at the end, and he just catches him and just pets him on the head. Swerve knows how to make those moments matter.
They were fucking great.
And then he did that against Hangman last year. Remember when Hangman hits him with in the Blood and Guts, when the Elite starts hitting him with the he knows how to make those moments.
I remember. That was my favorite spot in that fucking match. Shame he's a coon. Oh, well. Fuck it. I want to like him so bad. Just can't. Yeah, this match was fucking great. Everything about it was perfect. Even if you had a problem with the Hangman stuff, which I could see how you could. I go back and forth by the day. But today, I think it was fine. It was great. It fit. It worked out for the match. And then Dragon retired, and everything was perfect after that, obviously.
Well, coming in, no matter what Jimmy thinks, coming in at number 1 on our list, like I said, Bryan and Swerve had 55 points overall. This match had 57. By 2 points with the same amount of nominations. 14 nominations, but 8 first place votes. It is Will Ospreay versus Bryan Danielson, AEW Dynasty, the Dream Match. No! Bryan Danielson, Will Ospreay. This match was billed as a dream match, and I really enjoyed the 1 month build to this matchup, where it was just, these are the 2 best wrestlers in the world. And then they just did anything you could do, I can do better. Versing the same guys, trying to outdo the other person on the way to the matchup. The promos by Ospreay were great and really was a revelation to a lot of us that were like, damn, I knew Will was good on the mic. I didn't know he was that good. And then the bell rang and the energy of the crowd. The only match that's close to this in AEW history is Kenny Omega versus Bryan Danielson, where the crowd is just on their feet. They know they're about to see 2 of the best in the world clash at it for the first time. And then the story of the match was just superb, because the promo work going in was about how Bryan did believe that Will was very talented, that he was one of the best, but he doesn't believe in his style of wrestling. He thinks that his style, the technical wrestling style, the more grounded style, is the best style of wrestling, while Will Ospreay says, I could do all the wrestling. I could be on the mat with you. I could do the high flying. That's what's going to really win the match, is that I'm a hybrid and I can do it all. And just seeing these 2 styles clash at it in this ever-flowing 30-plus minute epic. The big spots in the matchup, the big dive to the outside. Ospreay and Bryan, that's the Os Cutter being met by the Psycho knee is one of my favorite spots of the goddamn year, because he plants him right on the fucking temple. You got tiger suplexes off the top rope. Then you got the big freaking anime Dragon Ball Z moment at the end where both guys power up in their corners. You got Psycho knee versus Hidden Blade, and Will's able to hit the Hidden Blade. He finishes him off with a Storm Driver and then a second Hidden Blade to the back of the head. 1, 2, 3. Will Ospreay wins. Will Ospreay grabs the torch as the best wrestler in the world. The significance of this, with Bryan being his final year, facing the guy that would take the mantle of delivering the best matches in AEW through the course of the year. It was just an amazing matchup. The crowd in St. Louis just went on to every big move. They reacted very strong. The post-match with Bryan selling the Storm Driver, and then Will deciding not to use the Storm Driver the rest of the year, which played into his rivalry with MJF. Bryan feeling like this was the moment where he felt like he couldn't do it anymore, which gave him the drive to eventually win the Owen Hart Cup and put his career on the line at All In. So the lasting impact, it being so memorable. This is one of the greatest matches that I've ever seen in my life. What did you think about Ospreay versus Bryan, or what do you remember about Ospreay versus Bryan?
I remember the finish. Sorry. I remember Dragon shaking after being hit with the driver. That's what I remember. Because the rest of this blends into many other Ospreay matches. No disrespect. No, we're not gonna do that. We're gonna talk about the other match. We're gonna talk about this match. This was a great
Exactly.
match.
With respect, sir. With respect.
With respect. Great match. Obviously. I'm not sure how many motherfucking matches Dragon had on this list. 4?
1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. Ospreay had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Jeez.
So they had 4 and 5 between them on our best matches of the year. It's very clearly these are the 2 best wrestlers in the world. And I just really enjoyed this matchup because we never got like a lot of the dream matches of 2 generations best wrestler in the world. Like Bryan is the best wrestler in the world of the 2000s, 2010s, and Ospreay is the best wrestler in the world of the 2020s. We got Kenny Omega and Bryan Danielson. That was cool. Kenny was kind of like a best wrestler in the world for 2010s. But we never got the Bret Hart versus Kurt Angle. We never got a Kurt Angle versus Kenny Omega. Like the best thing I would say to the energy of the crowd in this matchup was like Kurt Angle versus Samoa Joe. You knew you were seeing something special when they first went at it, and you knew that here. But with the difference is they gave these guys 30 minutes. They gave Joe and Angle their first match like fucking 13 minutes. I was still pissed about that shit. 20 years later.
This is great. They fucking delivered big time here. Not as much as you guys said, but they delivered fucking big time. Dragon was splendid in Ospreay. And to me, this showed he had another gear. Like he can even go up another level if need be and needed be, and he took care of it. That was a great match. Match of the year? No, but a fucking great match.
Well, it is the match of the year for the True Hill Heat. Top 10 matches of 2024. Just great, splendid stuff. I think that it stands out on its own because of Bryan. I think Bryan's ability to for his storytelling, his selling, when he's in control, how he kind of can go kind of lean heel as well because he's so brutal with the way he does technical wrestling. Like I just love this matchup, and it's a matchup that I'm surely going to rewatch before we get into the nitty gritty for 2025 because that is one to remember. But that is our top 10. True Hill Heat's top 10 best matches of 2024. I thought that we, the team, as well as a couple of our friends and some of you, did a great job of putting that together. Jimmy, your overall thoughts on that top 10?
What would I compare it to? I can't think of a solid comparison. The best thing I think is Bailey. Like you made it to the top of the mountain, which is number 2, and then you fell a fucking cliff. How are you gonna botch it right at the end? You did your job until the very end, and you decided, fuck it, whatever. Yeah, you just got the last 2 mixed up. That's all. It's okay.
It was all the first place votes, man. Sorry.
Is that one of them yours?
Yes.
You shouldn't be allowed to vote. That's outrageous.
Does
Dave get to vote?
Does Dave
get to vote on the newsletter shit? No, it's a people vote.
It's a team. It's
so
the top 10.
If we take away your,
we let the people vote for the True Hill Heat year-end awards. And
what was your second place?
Bryan and Ospreay won that as well.
What was your second place match?
Swerve and Bryan.
So it's not just you; it's somebody else that fucked up too. We're gonna figure it out. We're gonna put it together. It's a conspiracy here. It's a conspiracy going on here.
He was like, "What's your number 2? What's your number 3?"
Because we take away your matches, that means Dragon and Swerve will lose.
What's your number 2? What's your number 3?
Hey, I'm just saying, great match, all-time match.
All-time.
That Dragon this match of the year.
Rewatch it. Please rewatch it. You said you would rewatch it before the end of the year.
Is Dragon Swerve not one of the best matches of all time?
They're both are. That's why they're 1 and 2. I think the top 4, especially, I think are all timers.
What's 4?
In their own way.
Cody
Roman is an all-timer WrestleMania main event.
It is.
Punk and Drew is an all-timer Hell in a Cell.
Certainly
Swerve and Bryan is an all-timer.
Period.
Big stadium. Yeah, in general, all-timer. And I think the same with Ospreay and Bryan. Just in general, it's an all-timer. It's the two best wrestlers in the world clashing at it for 30 minutes in front of a hot crowd in St. Louis.
Ospreay's best match.
And it's a passing of the torch moment as well.
Oh, that's good. It's the best passing of the torch match ever. Sure. Well, unless you count Austin Brett, then it's not, obviously. But
is
I don't know
that
if I count
passing
that.
the torch match?
I don't consider it a passing the torch match.
Because Brett doesn't really. Brett wins. Like, it's not really.
Well, you don't have to win to fucking be a passing of the torch.
I think you kind of do.
You think so?
When I think about a passing the torch match, I think that the guy that's being passed the torch has to win.
I don't view it. It's not a real torch. Like, this is not like you're winning a belt. You're winning a title, best wrestler in the world. You're not winning a belt. You're not winning an actual thing. There's a bunch of losers on the end that tell you that you're great. You don't need to win the match.
Well,
no offense. You guys are great. Thanks for sticking around.
Yes, we appreciate y'all. If you've made it through our top 10 list, remember, if you haven't already, to drop the thumbs up on this video. You can also share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you're watching the premiere, you can decide if you want to send a super chat donation. We will read it out on the AE Ramble, the first live show of 2025 for us here on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel. And of course, you could comment down below and start the conversation there and let us know what you think. Do you think Bryan and Swerve should be number one? Do you think Punk and Drew should have been number one? What's your top 5, top 10 best matches of 2024? Let us know in the comments down below. Jimmy, let everybody know where they can follow you.
On Twitter, at Jimmy Macrum, where I tweet, obviously. That's what Twitter's for. And on YouTube, at Jimmy Macrum, where I watch TV shows and movies. No wrestling, though, because I can't do with you guys that much. It's a lot.
He only deals with you here. But do that. Go over and follow Jimmy. And, of course, check out all the great stuff we got on the channel right now, like our flagship podcast. Check out our year-end list with our top 10 best male wrestlers of 2024. Check out our list of the top 10 best women's wrestlers of 2024. And, of course, our top 10 worst matches of the year will be dropping in a couple of days here on the channel as well.
But you guys do a feud of the year?
I mean, we can do that. We can do feud of the year if you want.
Well, no need. It's Punk and Drew. I just want to make sure everybody else is on the same fucking page.
Well, they did not win it for our True Hill Heat year-end awards.
Who won it for the year-end awards?
Hangman versus Swerve.
Oh
but
my!
I think it's only. I honestly, I want to be honest with you. I think that it's only because Drew won a lot of other. He won 3 awards. He was the top award getter for the show. Best individual promo with "I prayed for this and it happened." best on the mic, and best True Heel of the year.
All well deserved. All well deserved. I pray for this and happened is an all-timer for the rest of the time.
I was like, because it starts everything. Yeah, that was my choice too. I was like, best individual. I was like, that's the one that stands out the most.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough. Come on, Hangman Swerve is might be a better feud. Isn't that a better feud this year? Let's not forget.
I think that's a key. That's a key. But it was a 2-horse race. It was between those two. It's like, yeah. But you already know what the feud of the year is. Go over and check out our True Hill Heat 309 with our True Year-End Awards. We also dropped our New Year's Eve, our Year-End Awards, separate from the flagship podcast. So if you want to see us talk about all the award winners voted on by you, check out that video as well. But until then, for Jimmy, for me, we will be back with you on Thursday, 1:05 p.m. Eastern Time, to review the new era of AEW Dynamite with the mother of all simulcasts, Fight for the Fallen, this Wednesday.
Oh, new era! Edge and Dean Ambrose. Let's go! New stars! We rolling!
Watch that tonight. Join us tomorrow right here on the channel, and we will be reviewing that for Jimmy. It is me, your True Hill Phenom SP3. This has been True Hill Heat's top 10 best matches of 2024. We are signing off until next time.